Hello. So this is my face. This is your reward for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you very much, sincerely. It means a lot to me to have that covenant of trust and to know that there are people who are genuinely enjoying the content that I'm creating. And I hope that you continue to do so, even after seeing my face. I know that some of you thought that I might be Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm not, so I apologise for that, but hopefully that won't stop you from enjoying my videos. So, now that that's out of the way, we can move on. And I can answer some of the questions that you have asked. I didn't expect there to be quite so many, so I'll try to get through them all and try to answer them as honestly as I'm able to. Okay? Okay, so here we go. This is from Abulafia. Thank you, Abulafia, for helping me get to 1,000 subscribers. It really means a lot to me. And thank you for all of your messages and your kind words of support. What is your name? My name is Jim, just like in the channel. So feel free to call me Jim if you like. What is your favourite ASMR artists? Well, I think that probably two main ones who I really admire and take a lot of inspiration from their work. That is Dr. Andrew Michaels, or I'm never sure I pronounce this correctly, but Tira de Luega. I'm not sure, perhaps some Spanish speakers can help me with that. But I think that his content is really, really creative and innovative. And the level of craftsmanship that is applied to each of the videos that he produces, I think really sets him apart as one of the standout ASM artists currently creating content, and it's something that I definitely aspire to, absolutely. Another one would be Jelly Bean Green ASMR. I think that similarly, the professionalism and her attention to detail in each of her, specifically in her role plays, is really quite incredible, and the craftsmanship again and the quality of her work is particularly breathtaking, I think. What is my favourite food? Well, I'm a big fan of Japanese cuisine, so I would say probably sashimi or sushi, or maybe steak. I'm afraid I eat meat, sorry. What is my favourite ASMR video? Well, that changes, I think, from time to time. Usually it's sort of classed as the one that I'm currently listening to the most at the moment, and there's currently a video by Fairy Shah that's to do with sort of alleviating the symptoms of a migraine, and it involves hydration, tapping on each side of the forehead, and also just really soft, gentle words of encouragement, which I think are really nice. So I've been particularly enjoying that video recently, and it's been helping me get lots of sleep. Mountains or sea, tingles or roleplay, day or night, Twitter or Instagram. Okay, kind of slightly obtuse series of questions, but I would say mountains because of where I'm originally from. I would say roleplay because generally roleplay induces tingles for me. I would say night because that is when I'm at my most productive. And I would say probably Instagram because I think that I like visual stimulus. So you get a lot of that with it. But thank you very much for your questions, Abulafia. Okay, Nakeem Productions asks how old I am. Well, I am comfortably in my mid-30s. Do you watch your own ASMR videos to relax? No, I can't really stand my own voice or the sight of myself, so generally I rely on other people to help me to relax, as I'm sure some of you can relate to. Do you have a casual non-ASMR channel? No, I don't. It's maybe something that I would consider, but I'm not sure that there would be enough content to fill it. If there are casual things that I might produce, it may just go on my ASMR channel marked as non-ASMR, but we'll see. So thank you for your questions, Nakeem Productions, and thank you for your support. Amber B, you will get way more than 1,000. Thank you. How old am I? Yeah, in my mid-30s. We'll leave it at that for now. Other than ASMR, what are things you enjoy doing? Well, I like playing video games. I like writing music. I like socializing. I also like to... I'm trying to think. So I didn't prepare any of these responses, so they're kind of all off the cuff. So I apologize if they're a little bit rambly at points. But I like sort of creating things. So I like to write, as I said, make music. But anything that involves creating something for somebody else, I like doing that. So maybe drawing, even though I'm not very good, drawing, or perhaps just creating something that someone wants, I think is a lovely thing to do and always worthwhile. When did you learn about ASMR? Well, I learned about it as, I guess, a concept about 5 years ago. Prior to that, I had experienced it, but 5 years ago, I think I was looking on some kind of website, and it mentioned that people were getting relaxed by watching Bob Ross videos and watching people talk very calmly about different things. Excuse me. And I thought, wow, that sounds like that thing I experienced when I was a kid. And yeah, I got into it from there, really. So about 5 years ago, and I've never looked back. What inspired me to start an ASMR channel? Well, some of the people who already make them, or make videos, inspired me. And I guess ASMR is kind of a weird one because it's not the kind of thing people go up to you and say, oh, you should do that. People don't really necessarily talk about it in the same way that they would, like, oh, you should be a driver or a doctor or whatever. And again, the funny thing about ASMR is that you kind of end up pretending to be those things sometimes. But yeah, I forgot what the question was. I think I wanted to, like most of my hobbies, create something for people that would hopefully help them and maybe touch them and help with their lives, I guess. What kind of jobs have you worked at? Generally creative roles. So kind of like in marketing, advertising, things like that. I've also had loads of odd jobs like bar work and stuff too, but mainly stuff like that. This is from Antonia B, so thank you as well, Amber B, for your kind support. My cat's sweet. Yeah, he is. Where am I from? I'm from the United Kingdom. So I'm half Welsh and half some other stuff, but yeah, I'm from the UK. Mysterious Moon, whereabouts in the UK are you from? How did you know? And what was your first ASMR video you watched? So in the UK, as I'm from basically Wales, I'm half Welsh, but I moved around quite a bit, which accounts for my accent. The first ASMR video I watched was like officially ASMR, because I remember listening to that old virtual haircut, the one that they used as a sort of 3D binaural sound example years and years ago, and thinking it was amazing and wondering what the sensation was. But the first intentional ASMR video that I watched was probably the big one, Gentle Whispering, Maria, and I think it was remember which one it was specifically. I think it was like sleepy time or something, or hand movements, something like that. But definitely one of hers, because, well, it's difficult not to be into ASMR and not have watched one of hers. But thank you for your support, Mysterious Moon. Dee, I assume not Dai, asks me what's my favourite video to make, which is probably the Doctor roleplays, because they're quite fun. I like to pretend to be a doctor and to know things that I don't know. And also because I think that, kind of in relation to the idea of an ASMR video, which is to help people relax, those kind of roles, so like doctor, Reiki practitioner, are designed to help people. So I think they lend themselves very naturally to ASMR videos, as far as I'm concerned. What's your job? I'm currently, I don't want to say too much, but I write. Do you get ASMR? Yes, I do, definitely. I'd say that the sort of tingles have declined a little bit over time, but I absolutely still feel it, and certainly will watch videos for relaxation or just to chill out. And who is your favourite ASMR artist? My favourite of all time, actually, I know I mentioned the two ones who inspire me and stuff, but I think of all time, probably Cordelia Charter. Her Reiki videos are really good, like really good. She doesn't publish content as much anymore, but she has a great voice and a very whimsical gesticulation for hand movements, which I really enjoy and really relaxes me. Thank you, Dee. Camacho ASMR? Least favourite trigger. Okay, well, this is kind of tricky. I have never been a fan of, and this isn't a trigger, more like a kind of bugbear, I suppose, of even in intentional ASMR videos when the microphone is visible. For some reason, even when you know it's not a role play, like it's not supposed to be real, it kind of really just stops me from being enveloped by the piece. So it almost breaks the fourth wall for me, even though there isn't necessarily supposed to be a fourth wall. It kind of doesn't suspend my disbelief, which apparently I need to experience it. Other than that, I don't like eating sounds. So when I have done a mouth sound video, that's not really my thing, but I'm happy to create content for other people. I also am not a massive fan of scratching sounds, so there you go. Thank you, Camacho. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Mouse Bear Kitty, what's my favourite ASMR trigger? Well, it used to be, well, I think, you know, in terms of audio triggers, I really like ear cupping, or the sound of when, you can see my big elven ears, but when your tragus gets pushed down, and you just get that sort of like, almost that seashell, like a conch sound, like you're submerged. I find that really comforting. Apart from that, it's got to be personal attention, like someone just whispering positive affirmations from ear to ear, sort of telling everyone it's going to be fine. I think everyone needs to hear that sometimes, and I think that, you know, it's just very comforting. Okay, sorry, there is so many. What's my cat's name? So I have two cats. Here they are. It's Guts and Casca. And how do they react to me doing ASMR? This is from the Firewire, by the way. Not very well. I generally have to shut them out, but they're quite needy, so you'll often hear them meowing at the door. Please don't think for 1 second that I'm neglecting them. they're just really noisy and they interrupt my videos all the time, because it's what cats do. Thank you, the Firewire. Estonia, why did you start to make an ASMR channel? What inspired you? I think, as I said before, generally because it was from my desire to help people, to sort of reach out to people if they need support and provide that support by proxy, by video. And I guess in a way kind of, give support that you might not otherwise get. Like, it's impossible really to go and see a doctor just for the purposes of relaxation, or it might be sort of cost prohibitive to go and see a Reiki practitioner. And so I see ASMR role plays as a fantastic way to provide that completely minus the cost or the physical strain of perhaps going and making that happen. So thank you, Estonia. Emily Childs, what got me into ASMR in the first place? What got me into it, I'd say, probably, I didn't really go through any of these questions before I started reading them, sorry. It was probably not even due to insomnia, but at work I would often get distracted, and then I found that sometimes listening to pink noise in the background helped me to concentrate a bit more. And in a way that relates to the kind of idea of the engagement of flow that you can enter with ASMR. And I would sometimes listen to those videos whilst at work to help me focus in a relaxed way. So thank you, Emily. So Patricia C, what one phrase would you consider words to live by? Probably just be kind, or I guess by extension, do unto others as you would have done unto yourself. I think that basically being nice to people is the most important thing in the world, and if we're all nice to each other, it would be great. I know that's a bit vague, sorry. Are there any requests you've gotten that you wish you could do but are scared to attempt? Kind of. I have had a request to do a kind of psychotherapist or psychoanalyst roleplay, and I would love to do that, but I worry that it would like kind of muddy a line between a roleplay and an actual clinical practice. So I would worry that it would sort of seem almost real, and of course it wouldn't be. It would be no substitute for actual therapy. But I think I was discussing it with Wayne, one of the people, I'm very grateful for subscribers, and we kind of worked out that maybe it could be done within the framework of a character of a film or something like that. But it's something that I'm definitely going to return to and have a look at, because I'd really like to do it. Do visual triggers give you ASMR? Yes. So actually in the previous question from Mouse Bear Kitty, visual triggers in conjunction with audio triggers work really well for me. And I think that one of the reasons why I like the ear cupping sound, or the sort of underwater sound, in conjunction with light work, so, follow the light, pen light stuff, is because I think, and there's absolutely no scientific or research basis for this, that it replicates the womb and sort of amniotic fluid flowing around, and lights cascading across the membrane. And I think that creates a comforting feeling, and that's why I particularly like light triggers. And they can actually send me to sleep pretty quickly. If a light is shone directly into my eye, I kind of just go, oh, I'm gone. But thank you, Patricia C. Okay, Eternal Winter 87. in one of your videos you mentioned that you were a gamer. So my question is, what kind of games do you play? And if you could live out the rest of your life in a video game, which one would it be? And what would your occupation be in that world? Whew, okay. Some of my favorite games, because like I said, I'm in my mid-30s, I've played a few. Throughout history, I think earlier on, Ultima 7 was one of the cornerstone games that I played. I kind of like role-playing games. And more recently, in that vein, The Witcher 3, I think, is just outstanding. It's incredible. Other than that, my one top game would be Killer 7, developed by Grasshopper Manufacture and published on, I think, the PS2, and I played it on the GameCube when it came out. It's by Suda51, who did other things like No More Heroes and things like that. But I think it's a really excellent piece of narrative game design. But I wouldn't want to live there. So I think if I was going to live anywhere, it would probably be in the Witcher 3 universe. And I'd actually want to be something really humble, just like a fisherman or a game hunter or something like that. Yeah, I'd be a serf. I know that's quite boring, but I'm actually a really boring guy. Shh. But thank you for your support, Eternal Winter 87. Zara Amir asks, do I have any partners? I hope that doesn't come across as creepy. I'm just curious. It doesn't come across as creepy. Don't worry, Zara Amir. It takes quite a lot to creep me out, so don't worry. I do have a partner. I am married, and I've been married now for almost 4 years. Do I suffer from insomnia or any other sleeping issues? I actually kind of suffer from hypersomnia, so the opposite of insomnia. But what that can do is I kind of like sleep way too much, and it can then impact my sleeping pattern negatively. So I won't be able to sleep until some silly time in the morning, and then I will just fall asleep for ages. But ASMR can help me to regulate my sleeping pattern a little bit more. If it's like 10:30 p.m. and I want to go to bed, ASMR can help lull me into that sort of suggestive sleep state. Sorry, that was the same question. What were your expectations when you first started the channel? Okay, well, my expectations were that I would never reach 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all again for that. It's incredible. Other than that, I just really wanted to, I guess, make videos and just for, like one person to enjoy them. And that would kind of be enough for me. So to know that, well, like almost 1,000 people probably enjoy my videos, or at least get something from them, is pretty incredible, and has completely blown apart any expectations that I might have had when I started this channel only a few months ago, like 6 months ago, or something crazy like that. So it's been really crazy for me to experience that, and it's of course like a massive amount of validation in what I'm doing. So thank you, and thank you, Zara Amir. And yeah, you've said some very nice things as well in the comments, so thank you. Intimate Flow, who is my favorite ASMR artist and who inspired me? I think I kind of covered this, but I just want to like reiterate that Cordelia Charter's content is pretty amazing. And there's also another a Reiki, and she's a master Reiki practitioner called Luninate, and she is, her content is amazing. It's all completely Reiki centric, so, and very much related to crystal work and stuff, but she just has a massive amount of character, I feel, that comes through in her videos. It's very personal, so it's no role plays really, it's just her and you, and it really feels like a kind of one-on-one session. And yeah, I just think that she's really, really personable and amiable, and that makes a big difference. So I would certainly recommend checking out her account. Thank you, Intimate Flow. There's not many left, I promise. So I am Leox. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. What do you think about Zeitgeist, and is he an inspiration for you? Your voice and your ASMR style reminds me of him. Well, thank you. That's a compliment. I really like Zeitgeist ASMR, obviously. I think that his production level is outstanding. The German accent is incredible, so that's obviously a win straight off. I really like the way that he personifies his equipment, so he animates eyes and stuff onto his Tascam, onto his 3DO and everything. I think it's really cute and unique, and yeah, I mean, his videos are definitely something to aspire to. I never think my videos will be as polished as his, or certainly not as professional, but I mean, if I could, yeah, it's definitely a benchmark, I think, for all other ASM artists, especially male ASM artists. But then again, you know, he's pretty good looking, so it's difficult to sort of match up to that. But thank you. L. Ann, how did you find ASMR in the first place? In your opinion, who are the most underrated ASMR creators? Okay, so the first instance of ASMR I remember is that when I was like maybe 5, and someone was reading like the Yellow Pages to me, really in a dulcet voice. She wasn't intending to, but it just sent me to sleep pretty much, and sent a tingly feeling down the back of my head. And of course, for years then, I never knew what that was. I thought that it was kind of maybe unique to me, maybe just weird, you know, maybe. But then, yeah, like I said, 5 years ago, finding out that it is actually something real was very comforting, and also meant that all of a sudden you could explore this wealth of material online, which, I mean, what a gift. It's kind of amazing, really. And underrated, me. No, I'm joking. I think that I know he is one of the most popular male ASM artists out there, but I still think that he's underrated. Is Andrew Michael's Tirar de Aguilera. I just feel like his videos still don't get as much recognition as they deserve. And similarly, there's a guy out there, Fred's Voice ASMR, who is kind of like a better looking version of me with a deeper voice, who I think should get more exposure. I mean, these guys are doing okay, don't get me wrong, but I really think they deserve more recognition than they're getting. Yeah, that's fair. Thank you, Lil Miss. I'm not Nicocci. Is that Italian? Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. I do a lot of Reiki. Is that something you really believe in? And what kind of relationship do you have with Reiki in your everyday life? From Finland. Hello, Finland. It's a tricky one to answer, and I know it shouldn't be, but I'm kind of trying to be open-minded to nearly any idea, any new idea. And I'm kind of, I guess, not results orientated, but if something helps someone, even if it's not real, it's good and it shouldn't be questioned. So there are elements of Reiki that I implement into my life alongside a number of other practices that some people might say aren't real, but they're certainly real to me. So things like, maybe I will apply a certain amount of power to a stone, or maybe there is a small ritual that I perform that is unique to me, that I apply a power or a result to. But in the same way as Reiki, I mean, I think, I don't know, maybe the word believe isn't right, but I certainly practice it. That's not really an answer to the question. That's a very diplomatic answer, but I hope that you know what I mean. And I think that people should generally be able to believe whatever they want, as long as they're not hurting other people. I know that's a completely non-answer, but I hope at least that the Reiki videos I produce help, because that's what they're designed to do. And they're also designed with the Reiki practice in mind. So thank you, Niokochi. I'm not pronouncing that correctly at all, am I? And finally, Love Pink Mermaid, who, as she points out in her message, was the first subscriber to my channel. I do remember on my Reiki video. And she's asking me what some of my other hobbies are. Well, thank you, Love Pink Mermaid, for being Isabel, for being my first subscriber. Other hobbies that I haven't already mentioned, apart from socializing, I guess I cook. I never thought I'd really classify that as a hobby of mine, but it's kind of true. I kind of cook, which I never thought about. I cook every day, and I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, sorry, that was so rambly and unorganized and not particularly relaxing, because I'm kind of looking all over the shop because I'm really nervous. But I hope that you've at least accepted that this is the face you're going to have to deal with in future videos when I make them, and that I've tried to answer your questions as best I can. I'm sorry if others were a little bit more diplomatic or a little bit, I don't know, kind of avoidant, but I hope that all of you who have subscribed, asked questions and supported my channel will continue to do so, and thank you so much for that support, because sincerely it's unbelievable and very life affirming, so thank you for that. And yeah, I'll continue to make ASMR videos. Some of them won't have my face in still, because I think some videos beget that, but some will. Maybe I'll be wearing a disguise, who knows. But otherwise, yeah, this is me, and I'm talking to you. But thank you sincerely, and I look forward to hopefully making more and more videos that you'll enjoy. And thank you for spending time with me. Okay.